Tonight in RCVTV, we're going to be taking a look at the 150 watt disguiser box by Movkin. Alright, so let's show you what you get in the box with the disguiser. So, there's not much to it, as you can see. You get the mod itself. You have the drip tip, which is probably one of my favorite features about this guy. And you also get the user manual. Now, the user manual is pretty standard. There's not much different about it. But this guy does have the many options for temp control and button combinations for stealth mode and all that kind of stuff, so you might want to refer to it back to it at one point or another. Now, the mod itself. So, you get your display on your front, you have your power button, you have your up and your down button. You have this little cover on the back, which pulls right off, similar to a reload. And this is where your 510 extender is sitting when you get the box, or the mod itself. So it's lefty-loosey. This will just come right out. All this does is allow you to use a tank or a dripper or anything that'll thread into 510 on the top rather than inside. And that's what makes the disguiser very, very unique, is that you actually stick your tank inside and you put your cover over that, and essentially, if you were to drop it, you're less likely to be breaking your tanks. And it's a perfect mod for someone who's going to be working construction or in the garage or something like that, and they don't want to bust it or anything. So I'm going to put 2 batteries in this guy for you. Now, the one thing I am going to mention is batteries themselves for this thing. This is the type of battery I'd put in. You can see it's just a wrap on it and nothing else. So I'm going to stick that guy in there, and then you have one like this. And it's got a sticker on the front telling you about your battery and stuff. The disguiser doesn't like these. They get stuck in there fairly easily, so I would definitely peel that off before you stick your batteries in this mod. And close it all up. Make sure it's latched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome, turns it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shuts it off. Now, when it is on, it's a fairly simple operation for wattage mode. Up is up and down is down. 1, 2, 3 to get into your temp control options, and then you have to do 1, 2, 3 to scroll through each option itself. Once you're back into wattage mode, you can hold the up and the down button together, and that will actually lock your settings in so you can't adjust anything. And then you have to hold them again to unlock it. And then a power and up switches. Your side that your screen's on. So you just got to hold it, and then we'll say right mode or left mode, and it'll flip the side the screen is on. If I hold the power and the down button until it says normal mode, and then it goes stealth. Now, when you push the button, it will still vape, but you can't see your screen of any kind. So, in a dimly lit room where you don't want to make too much light, that's the option you want to be using. So, hold power down again until it says stealth mode, and then hold it again until it says normal, and then you can let go. So let's show you what this thing looks like with a tank in it. So I'm going to be using my Hercules Plus today. What you got to do is you usually have to take the drip tip off your tank, just sit it in there, and then you do have to finically kind of thread it in there, just because you can't get grip on all sides, so you almost have to quarter turn the whole thing all the way down, which can take a little bit of time. Now, the nice thing about the Hercules Plus that I'm using here, if I actually stick the normal tip back in there, it just sticks out the top, so I could technically use that if I wanted to. But this is where their cool little unique drip tip that it comes with comes into play. So this guy is just a big drip tip, but if you spin the 2 halves apart, it actually is telescopic, so you can extend it as high as you need if you're going to be using something that sits in the tank really low, or you want your drip tip to be fairly high. Now, the one thing I have noticed about this drip tip is the O-ring on it is fairly tight on most tanks. You might scuff it up a little bit. And I threaded this thing all the way in, and when it's sitting all the way in, you can actually throw a standard grip tip on top of it as well. So if your tank's set a little bit lower and that this thing or the extendo drip tip sit flush across the top, you could throw your regular drip tip on it, but once you throw it into extending mode, you can no longer use your drip tip. It'll just pop right out. One last thing I want to show you guys, and this is just a trick of the trade with this guy. Now, there is a gap between the cover and the tank, so you should still be getting airflow to all of your holes that allow air in for your tank. Now the Hercules Plus has 4 of those. Now it's still going to be getting air. Now when you comfortably hold this thing, your fingers are going to cover those metal grates, so you might actually be reducing the amount of air you can get to those. So I've been trying to hold it on the top 2 and leave the bottom one open, so you can still get air in through those holes to your tank to keep that coil cool. I'm going to take this up top, we're going to vape on it, and we'll say our goodbyes. Alright, so we got our Hercules Plus sitting inside here. I got it sitting at 67 watts, and I'm just going to make sure I'm not putting my finger over, you know, those air holes on the back there. So let's give this a quick vape. Performs well. It's a pretty simple box. There's not much to it like I was saying before, but for someone who's looking for that thing that's going to protect their tank, and the mod itself is just a beast of a piece of metal, that it's probably perfect for you people who like to go bring their mod to construction and they need that hefty higher wattage box that's going to still take a beating. So that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching, and as always,
subscribe to the channel, like the videos,
follow us on Instagram and Twitter,
like us on Facebook, and until next time,
make smart choices.